hope you join me today. We're celebrating. This is Rose. I just want to show you a little bit of what we're creating and celebrating today. I am so excited about the fact that we're celebrating 2,500 YouTube subscribers. Oh my gosh, so grateful. I realized I need something to show you what they look like, a background, what they look like before I put them down, because a lot of them are transparent. I'm not going to show a lot in detail, much more, because a lot of it is surprise, but that's kind of what we're doing today. Lots of little snippets, but there's an 8-page freebie on my Ko-fi site, and I hope you'll grab that and then come and join me. Okay, see you soon. Hello, hi, it's Rose. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited that you're here. If you're new, thank you for giving me a shot and stopping by. I hope you'll find something that you enjoy. We are celebrating today, and if you're someone that's been around for a while, we're celebrating you too, because I just couldn't have created this much without you. And today I feel just overwhelmed with gratitude. So I'm celebrating 2,500 YouTube subscribers. I can't believe it. I'm overjoyed, for real. This journey has been long and arduous for me, and I don't need to belabor that, because I know many of you that work on dreams, we work hard and persistent, and I'm willing to continue to do that. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. So thank you. In response to that, and to celebrate, I have a Friday freebie with things I might not actually always include. I am switching gears a little bit on Wild Rose Bohemian, mostly because I'm needing to, it's being an artist is such a juggle. I can just tell you this much. As far as my health, I have a lot of health issues, and but mostly in staying inspired. And I'm sure that you guys can relate to that completely, because you're artists too. So if you're creating and you're watching my videos, I'm going to consider you 100% an artist too. And so I just want to share with you a little bit about being okay to make a change if you're lacking in inspiration, or to shift directions, or to make a new choice. It's completely okay to do. So I'm modeling that at this point, but I've got a freebie for you that is just stunning, and I can share a few pages. So sadly, I've filmed this so many times that I've cut up the images, and I'm just not gonna, forgive me, because you'll get an idea. It's 8 pages, and I promise you, the link will be in the comment box or in the description box below, and I promise you, you'll love it. It's got a lot of different elements to it, but this month's offering on Wild Rose Bohemian was a field notes kit. So here's one of the pages that's an offering. This is like a multi-layered, all of these are stunning backgrounds. They're really actually quite detailed, that would be really wonderful for the back of a photo, or to create like a little, I don't know, you could create a folio, you could create a little booklet. Let's see, lots of things. It comes also with this background paper, which is super delicious. It's a little bit of a combination of these items, but numbers and words and text. And I've used this a lot in different ways that I've created things. It also comes with some slides and some picture frames. Let's see. Oh, and I think my favorite part, which is what I kind of want to unveil and share with you, I have a new listing that'll be up in the Etsy shop later today. Hopefully by the time that this video comes to you. But I have created a whole page of yummy backdrops for you that can be used in a variety of ways. One of the pages also includes some of these film strips and some labels. I think, some gorgeous photos and things to be used in some of what you will be creating. This is printed on washi paper, so it's not quite as brilliant as the other paper. So I do want to show you, I'm going to discuss with you a couple of things that are so new to me and I'm so excited about as far as this process goes. I was in the middle of creating this after I created the Bohemian summer collection, and I've been working on things, if you're following me, a story of a woman named Nushaba Dragamore, and she's an incredible character, and illustrating her story. So that's one part of what's been happening. But as far as the membership goes, we created a field notes. I've created a field notes journal that's just a very small one that could get inserted in another journal, or it comes with a larger spine if you want to create a bigger spine. But one of the previous videos shows you how to just create this mini kind of journal. So, and I do want to mention Cheryl has posted a video, and that is actually in our Facebook group, where she makes a bunch of these slides and stuff. She's working with the Field Notes kit, which has these really incredibly yummy, gorgeous flowers, and let's see if I can show you, flowers and insects. So this is printed on transparency, but I want you to see the detailing of the images. They're not typical, so it's kind of, when it's called the Celestial Field Guide, it's got quite a few different uses, which I'll explore with you a little bit later this month. But I wanted to mention that Cheryl has a video that is a challenge video for the second challenge in our Facebook group, and she goes over creating slides in some really unique ways. And if this wasn't the third or fourth time I filmed this video, I wouldn't have known that that's what she was choosing to do. And it's a relief, because she covers some of what I might have covered, and I can shorten this video. So if you're interested in that, look for that. But this field notes kit here could be, and some of that I wanted to mention, the other freebies will have a label or something that you can put over the field notes if what you don't want to do is create a field notes journal. Maybe you just want to create something else, but it could be any size or any dimension. So that's the gift on the Bohemian level, and a lot of the freebies are kind of situated around that. Okay, so let's celebrate and let's party. Let's see what I have been making with some of this stuff. I made a few items to just show you, and then I'll show you how I did those. And this video really wouldn't be possible, to be honest with you, without me having, in about the third time, or I tried so many times and failed. So let me say this. I purchased some items with the idea of how I might use these. And then I did a search for, I'm going to talk while I show you what I made so that I can kind of share and talk at the same time. I purchased some items with the idea of what I wanted to do with them. And then I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out how to print on acetate. I couldn't figure out how to print on sticker paper. I couldn't figure out how to print on washi. And that was really frustrating for me. So I almost gave up because I had an idea and ideas of what I wanted to do, but I couldn't complete them, because when I'd print, I had a lot of issues with ink running, and I was just super intimidated. And that's generally not like me with my printer, because my printer is my best friend. And so I was super excited when in this process I did a search for, here's another one. I will make some more like this together really quickly. I was really surprised when I came across Margaret from some plaza. I've been watching her for a number of years and really always enjoyed her content. But lately, this past year or so, as I've dived into my own journey, I just don't watch other creators very often. And it's not because I don't enjoy them, because I do. I'm just so overwhelmed with my own plate that I don't. And I happened to do a search looking for how to print on acetate and didn't really find anything worthwhile that I could find. And but her video came up that had it's a newer one where she's got some photos and she's working with she created a photo kit, and the photo kit's stunning. So if you want more things like this, her whole kit is about those. But my main takeaway, so I was surprised I had these, but my main takeaway from that is that she offered tips on printing on the different papers and suggested uses of them, and it just really sparked my creativity and got it going. And so really want to give her a kudos and a thumbs up and a thank you, because it's things like that I really do feel like it's a game changer, because I began to understand a lot of things, and I do want to pass some of those things on to you before we move forward. Okay, I'm not the girl that buys stuff. I just don't have the resources. I don't have the finances, and I do not have the storage. I do not have a huge studio, and even though I've been gifted the ability to kind of create my own, I feel I get overwhelmed with having too many things. And so it's not going to be a video, excuse me, very often where I suggest purchasing something. If you note Cheryl's video, she'll give you a ton of different ways to get acetate and use acetate. The only thing with that is that if you go about it with that method, you will not be printing a full sheet on acetate, and that doesn't matter. You don't need to do that. This is acetate falls in the it might be nice category. You can find a lot of the acetate online with Amazon if you want. This is what I purchased here, but I want to be clear that if you're printing on acetate transparency film, make sure you purchase the kind that goes for your printer. My issue actually was that I was printing on the wrong side, and I had to make sure that I purchased inkjet because I have an inkjet printer. So one of the key factors if you're going to purchase some is for me to tell you to buy 100% clear inkjet transparency film if you're printing on it. If you're choosing not to print on it, because there are a ton of things you can do without even printing on it, because I'm going to show you some things where if you have some acetate from other means, because there's plenty of means, page protectors, ways to get used acetate, and probably as a junk journaling community, I feel like it's important for me to not be peddling for you to buy a bunch of things. And also I'd rather you spend your resources on more images, but that's just because I sell images. So remember that bias when I tell you. So the next thing is washi paper, and I don't know if I'll buy more washi paper, but I did buy some to try some, because what I was trying to go for is the look of transparent the tape. And I'm not the advantage of the washi paper. I don't even need to take it out for me to show you. The advantage of the washi paper is that it has a capacity, once you peel it up, to be removed. So if you get it positioned you can see it's not completely transparent, okay? And it retains, because it's not as transparent, it actually it produces a different effect. But the fact that it can be removed is also, it's important, because it could help you with positioning something in the right way. And but I want you to note that I like the sticker paper that I purchased, because I do want to show you the difference in what happens on the images. So these are the same images here. This is the sticker paper I purchased, which I will purchase again and again and again and again. And I I'm in love with that part of it. That I did find worthwhile, and I will purchase. It was $9 for 30 sheets and well worth it. So you can see the difference here, and these print clear, and I've got a lot of uses for this. So that's the only thing of the things that I purchased that I'm going to actually highly suggest trying if you like some of what's happening here. And this is the sticker paper. Okay, it's let's see, what can I say? This is US letter size, but it's for an inkjet printer. This is the most important thing I learned is for an inkjet printer. And it is also super compatible with cutters. So it says waterproof printable vinyl comes in the standard size of 8.5 by 11 and compatible with all inkjet printers using regular ink. This is also, they've been tested with most electronic cutting machines. Okay. To increase durability and color performance, print stickers with the UV ink. So I'm not worried about that part because I'm not selling stickers, but if you were, this could be, because it penetrates deeply into the vinyl sticker paper within 5 minutes, and the results dry for 5 minutes to avoid smudging. This piece of it, especially if you're a mixed media artist where you're adding layers upon layers and you're adding other elements, especially like if you're doing stickers for a mixed media, kind of the way that Vicky P does from Stamperia, that this paper is a game changer. So, okay, and the other one I want to mention is that, so because I enjoy watercolor myself, I used to buy the pads, and for about the same amount of money is this watercolor paper. And I'm not suggesting that you go out and buy it, but I am suggesting to consider that if you like some of the effect of that, some of these images can be printed on this paper, and especially the field sketches, so that it looks like watercolor paper. Totally optional. Okay, my rant's over. Let's get started making some things. I showed you the images of the ones that I created. So you can see I used a slide here from the Field Notes kit, and then one of my pre-made little backgrounds, and that background was printed on the sticker paper, and then it was adhered to the transparency. So part of the process of creating something like this, let me show you here, with a transparent background, is you'll need some kind of frame, or like I have a couple of different ones that are from that kit. There's one, here's a frame, here's a frame. Like this. So just for quickness sake, okay. This image here, this is one of the ones that is, actually let's not use that one. Let's make a decision together, okay? So I can kind of show you the different things and maybe save some time. This here is, this is one of the backgrounds that you get. I think there's 6 or 8 of them, I'm not sure, on one page. But you can see that actually that's the listing that's coming as these. They're perfect for printing on this type of paper and then putting on the background of your choice. But also, if not, they're great for creating a slide. So you could see, I don't know if I'd put it on top of a fussy cut, but you can get the idea that these fussy cuts were also printed on clear paper. And so on this one, you can see that what I've done is these are a couple of the backgrounds, and then these are the fussy cuts. They don't have an edge, the sticker is just placed on the top. So they're actually, I don't know if you can see this, translucent or transparent. So you can see the words behind even with the fussy cut. So it looks like it's one element, although it was not an element that was created that way. Let me show you what I mean a little further. Okay, so if we were going to kind of use the field notes, guys, this is transparency here. It could have been printed on, I should have printed it on sticker paper, but so you can kind of get an idea where you can create what you want here, see? Okay, so let's do it together. Okay, so I'm not sure if all of these will fit, but we'll see what I can do. I'm wanting to create, I'm going to use this background here, and what I've done is print the background on the sticker paper and then stick it to a transparency so that I can have a fully kind of transparent image this way that goes into to create a slide. But what I want to do is I'm going to add something that will also be the focal point and not the actual image. That I don't love that it cuts off the tail, so some of these might need to be smaller, and it's okay because I'm just actually learning about the sticker paper still. I think I can get more images on and how I might use it. But what if we just do a simple, let's start with the rose. And again, I could be using some from the freebie, but I also want to accomplish the goal of creating some ephemera for the journal that I'm making, which is the one that is about the woman I spoke of, Nushaba Dragomir. So I'm basically going to just kind of choose here about where my layout is, and then kind of just eye it this way. I think that'll work. And then notice that I've got this part here that I should probably cut off. I'm going to cut some, but not all of it, because I'll trim it later. The one part that I don't quite have going for me yet with these, the sticker paper, I've been creating all day with ink, and some of it, I'm sorry, I haven't been able to get all of the ink off my hands, is to get it started. And I think part of that is my eyesight has shifted so much with my age, but also done. So that is the one tricky part about this whole process here, is it can be a little bit difficult to start. So I'm just gonna lay it probably I like the background so much, it's probably not gonna matter, but okay, so you can see now where I still have it. It still looks like kind of one cohesive piece. I might next time do some of the stickers big enough to have their own background. That might be something I could format better, but you can't really tell once I put it in here. So then all we're going to do is actually just glue it in place, and we've got a really cute slide to be decorated. Really that simple and quite easy. Let me just find the back of that one. Oops. As I do it, I'm just going to make sure that I add, oops. Just the most minimal, because I don't want the glue to bleed into the part. This probably is too close to that side. I don't want the glue to bleed into my slide. Okay. And I'm just going to add the back side. And when you're doing it, like I don't have can't afford a cutting machine, and so I'm cutting these by hand, which is really very doable. There's no need for some of the fancy things if you don't have the resources for it. Don't purchase it. Just create with what you have. And so what I'm going to do is match the oval portion first, knowing that what I will need to do is go back around with my scissors. And if I was going for something less than a vintage look, I might use my paper trimmer to make these edges a little more uniform. I am going to pay attention to ignoring the corners for now, because I will redo that with my corner rounder just to kind of clean it up a little bit. And I will also ink my edges. So how I'm going to finish it, I actually really like that. This could get stamping on the front, so I might do that. Let's do a little stamping. Part of the reason why I love this is I'm actually have been super in love with a lot of the rubber stamp images that I have found, but I get really intimidated about rubber stamping, and I'm not sure why that is. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not actually adding a lot because I'm using the Distress Oxide. What I often do when I'm creating like a collection like I did with the Bohemian Summer, I just actually, for my own sanity, pick a couple of stamps that I really actually like the wording from and stuff, and then I just use those kind of repeatedly for the repetition factor of, yep. So you could do some fancy things to add to this. Seriously, you could add lace, you could add paper ruffle, you could add stickers, you could add some labels like, you know, shall we put this one on here? You could add more fussy cuts. You could decorate it up however you like, but I wanted you to learn what the basic kind of formula was of what I was using to create a multi-layered slide like that. And I like, instead of it being a fussy cut, see, if it was a fussy cut, it wouldn't, you don't have the transparency. So that's what I like about that kind of sticker, is that you can use it to create multiple layered effects, right? So that's kind of what I did with this one here. Okay, that's the very same effect here. So let's do another one. Okay, so on this one, like, so what if we're creating a double layer on this? We would like it to be transparent. What I'm going to do with this one here is I'm going to first choose, oops, this is my transparency here. When I said you take the sticker and you place it on transparency, the reason you do that is so that you can maintain the transparency. And the question might be is, well, Rose, why wouldn't you just print it on transparency paper? Well, if I print it on the sticker, I have so many options, and that's actually what I'm wanting ahead of time, is all the options that I can have as far as how I use the image, and the sticker actually gives me the most options. So you can see that it's to me, it shows it off best on a clear background, but it's actually a really nice way to create some elements like this and then layer them in your journal, especially if it's a fully transparent piece that you might use a paper clip on or something like that. And so what I'm going to do with this sticker is just create the shape. And the other part of why I decided I love using the stickers is that, first of all, I could print them up, cut them out, put them in a little package, and be able to go on the go. Like, without the glue and scissors and some of that, I realized that might be part of what the younger generation is liking about the scrapbooking elements of the stickers. I wasn't quite understanding them yet because they're from China. But I really am starting to understand the liking of the stickers now. So I'm just gonna, you know, add that on top there. And actually, I'm gonna consider it close to being done, but I could put a tab on it. And because this, yeah, they're really, really easy to just kind of put together. I might put a grommet here. So, and those of you that know me might be really thrilled to know that I'm starting to learn how to, I don't want to say master, let's use the bigger one. I'm not a master, but I am starting to gain some confidence on using this tool, which is super amazing for me. I think the grommets add a little bit of character, totally optional. But to just show you that that's, oops. Okay, so, oh, I don't love that. See what I mean? I'm gaining confidence, but I put it on backwards. That's how it goes for me. These ones are just them cut out on regular paper. So you could also just add the fussy cut directly here. And I want to show you kind of the contrasting difference so you understand. I'm more showing you like, let's experiment and see what the two items look like depending on whether you print it on, you use the sticker paper or not. So this is me using the sticker on, this is the Epson matte premium paper that I love, since I don't love the photo paper. Put it about in the same place. See, I don't quite love that as much. You can tell there's a sticker there. That bothers me a little bit, but not a lot. And what I think I'm going to actually do, if I can. Nope, I can't. I might have paid better attention to, maybe on the next one, actually cutting it so it looks more like a slide than actually posted on the top. But I want you get the general idea, right? Okay, let's move on. So I printed that background on background paper. I printed it on washi paper. And I printed it also. Okay, so let's just take a look here. This is the washi paper. It's printed on washi paper, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I probably will cut this into strips like washi. That's probably what I'm going to do. This I printed on the paper that comes with it, which is, it's really like a strong tissue paper. And I decided I actually really like this. I might even order some just like this because my printer does a really good job on it. And I can see a lot of ways to layer that. You can see that it has quite a bit of transparency also. So remember, what we're kind of playing with here is the different qualities that the papers have and your capacity and your ability to make choice and direction in your own artwork with what you're wanting to create. And sometimes it's fun to play. So this is also, this one is the one on transparency paper. So you can kind of see the difference here and the different uses. I'll show those in a second. So if you're someone that isn't going to purchase any paper, I also have these clear labels, and these are what I was using before I bought the washi paper. These are ones that I've used to just make tape, especially like the tape that you use to place photographs in your albums, things like that. So this was just an Avery. I think I got a stack of like old Avery labels that were 1 or 2 from different sizes from the thrift store for about $2. And I use those actually a lot. So printed it on that too. And this is just the regular cardstock. So there's quite a few different ways that you could print the same image or background or ways of using it. So I'm going to keep going and show you a few more ways, and then I'll let you go on. I just want to inspire you enough to start playing. So this is one of these images here, the photographs, and I've just placed it on the background. Okay, and to be real with this, I'm not sure if I felt like it needed much more. It could be framed. I think it would look really great framed. But I also enjoyed all of the other parts of this, so I didn't necessarily know if I wanted to restrict it that much. Okay, so also, these are where you could put your own photographs with these. The size isn't going to work, but you could see where you could print these up and put your own photographs underneath, layered onto the paper. Right, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to cover that image up. But I just want to show you that the other way to use one of the photographic images is to place it on transparency paper directly. And then that one could be used, I think, more. This one would be better for this one. So this one will create a transparent frame. So it's like a slide. You can see the multi-uses for the photos. And like I said, the person that inspired me about the photos was actually Margaret. And I have a ton of photos for sale in my shop, different ones. But I have lacked some inspiration on really knowing how to utilize them in a way that was unique. And yeah, other than, you know, here's a photograph and I'm going to take that in and or we'll make a layered collage or something like that. So this is way too much glue. Yeah. It's a great way to begin to use the photographs. Like, I actually got re-inspired by the photographs in my shop and printing more of them up. I have a Spring Joy that has like a ton of my favorite photos of people having a really good time together, especially it could be in the summer too. And I have a lot of those to use. So, okay, so now she needs a background. And I think what I'll do is, you can get the idea here at this point. Let's move on and show you something else. I wanted you to see that that's a real possibility, and she needs a background and she needs to be decorated, but I'm going to do that off camera. In some of my scraps, I punched little tabs, and it's not necessary to use a punch to do that. So we'll set that aside. So I've got some more of these backgrounds that I really like. Those. Ooh, wait. Let's see what happens here. I just saw this, so this is totally off the cuff. I have no idea what's going to happen here. No. So what I really want you to realize too, from kind of this process with me, and this is Yeah. It's okay, but I don't love it because what you're seeing here is I've just covered up part of the elements that I really loved. I probably should have turned it around. But I want to encourage you that to realize that even when you try something and it's like not your favorite thing, isn't that so much information for you? I've been learning that a lot lately about people in my life, and that's really been challenging. I don't know about you guys, but like, let's round the edges here. You know, this little exercise of trying, of kind of, it's a model, it's a metaphor for kind of opening up your heart to people. So much art to me reflects my process in my life, and it's part of why I love to do art, is because that fear muscle that we all have of things that are new and trying something new and all of that, it's part of our ego, and creativity and art can really destruct the ego if we let it, if we want it to, if we want to use it for that purpose. And I use it for that purpose because it's not my ego that's creating my art. When I work, I generally work from the heart. So I can, okay, can kind of see. What I'm not loving is some of the sheen, and I don't love that it covered it up. So that's not my favorite thing to do. I probably won't do that again, although I do want to use these frames, and I'll show those here. So, let's talk about doing some more layering, especially with the frames here. That probably is just an almost fully finished little bit of ephemera for your journal. I'm going to cut it out, probably ink the edges. And it might go somewhere else in my journal as a tuck-in or part of a larger element. Not sure, but to remember that what it is still a sticker. So I'm going to leave it like this because when I go to put my journal together, it's going to be perfect to go on the edge of a page. Okay, let's finish up here. One other thing I think important to show you is that the images that came with the kit, they came often, some of them came 3 to a page or 2 like this. Let's see. Yeah, they came like this, or I don't know if I still have some together, or just the 2 on the page, like this here, right? So I've been showing you how to do things with them all cut as individual pieces and then placed together. What I want to show you is that they're also close enough together that they could be something besides just that. So let's create something here. What I've done is cut out the 2 frames, and then I've just scored down the center and trimmed them like this, okay? I want to show you one of the tricks that I use in order to get this kind of cut out the same. I'm actually going to fold it together and do what I might have done for everything else, but I'm going to treat them as one piece. And I'm going to choose this one as my front. So I'm going to follow the lines on the front here in case I don't match, because most often I end up not matching exactly, but it's a great way to make sure that both of your sides, if you're going to do it this way, match. And we'll turn it over and see what needs trimming on this other side here. I could also use a punch if I had one. Actually, we're pretty good. Okay. So what you can do with something like that is create either just, you know, use it like that to make it into a specimen slide, or you can do it where it's more of like a pocket. And so these are actually really cool. Let's see here. Maybe I'll just leave that for your imagination here, which is that you now know how to create those when they're side by side, and maybe that's easier for you, you know, than doing the individual ones. You know how to kind of slide them together, what you're looking for as far as matching goes. For me, it seemed easier this other way, but I wanted to show you that it's really possible to do it both ways. The most important thing is to do it in the way that feels best to you. So this one, let's see. So I really wanted to find one where I could get the bird in there, but this bird feels like it's bigger than this space. Let's be creative. Let's put our sticker on some acetate. We've got a little bit left. Just trimming this here. I'm going to glue it in. I wanted to show you something else too that I noticed a lot of people are using, and I think I might need some other tools to use it, but was pretty inexpensive and something you might want to try, though I didn't decide it was for me, which is this really super thin tape. I don't know, let's try it here. What I don't like is that it's just like the stickers too, which is hard to peel off. The nice thing about using this tape is that you won't have any issues with glue coming out or anything like that. So let's just get the what I'm going to do now is add the bird image on this side. Because it's transparent and I've got the reverse image, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think a lot of this could be solved if I spent more time. It just dawned on me, possibly cutting the stickers out a little bit better, or if I was using a cutting machine. Let's see what happens here. Just wanted to get it to line up here. Other than me not loving where some of the tape is, I actually like that, so we'll see. See if it grows on me. Like I said, everything is absolute trial and error. Okay, so that's one way to use those cards. So another way I wanted to show you very quickly is okay, so these images, these are the background paper that is included in the freebie. The one that looks like this. And all I did is print this, and then I printed this right on top. And for the moment, they look a little cluttered, like maybe they don't work so well. But I actually think they're one of the things that worked the very best and the very most of what I liked, because when I cut out the images, they really, to me, that's kind of, if I were an expert stamper, that's what they would look like. And I'm not an expert stamper, so it made my job really easy. And I just cut out front and back, and then this is one of the overlays. So seriously, how quickly this went together was about cutting it out, putting the overlay on transparency, and probably could ink those after, but why don't you make sure the inside is inked. Okay. And I'm not sure that these guys were the right girls to include. Maybe. No, I don't think so. These are a little close for those slides. I think it needs a bigger slide. We'll see what I can come up with for those. But I wanted you to see too that it would fit nicely too here if you were just to make it a single element. There's a bunch of these. These are actually field notes meant to be put on not on a transparent background, kind of as if what the field person did was to sketch them in the field. Okay, so I'm just going to add my glue. And then I'm going to show you the difference. Between leaving your slides just plain or taking advantage of the background, because I think it's one of those things where, like, the more you play, the more you decide, you realize you know what you like. So you can see, this isn't complete yet, but you can see this is a little bit more grunge effect that would take me longer to figure out or know how to do, just because, to be honest with you, this whole series is an adventure for me, because the place I feel the least confident in my junk journal skills happens to be in, like, vintage grunge. I swear to you, oops, I didn't match that up very well. I swear to you, someone like Margaret, or, oh my gosh, have you watched Crafty by Tony? Tell you what, they're just intimidating, because it seems like it's intuitive, and I would say to you that if something is that intuitive to you and it comes to you that after practice, and so keep in mind and remember that the other thing I want to say is that the skills that they have is because they do it every day over and over and over again, and really some of this stuff is practice, but you do not have to be perfect to make things look good and to go ahead and give it a try. And I guess that's more what I'm wanting to illustrate here, is that, you know, that's why I did the field notes kit, so that I could kind of explore a little. So I think that's what I have for you today. I'll do a quick recap and show you what we made. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like my content. Go and grab the Fair Friday freebie, the celebration for this 2,500 YouTube subscribers. There'll be some more party favors that end up coming out shortly. I love to give party favors. I actually like to give things away, but I also trust that as I do, I want to mention to you everything in my shop is on sale. And it's on sale this month as a celebration of the 2,500, but also because I'm really hoping to, even though I'm not focusing on the Etsy shop the way I'd like to, that I can go ahead and venture out into producing some more content for you, so that I can get back to crafting, because mostly that's my goal here, is for me to get back to crafting. So I'll just show you really quick. I also printed the other pages on these. These will be really great. I may put some together before I show you the very end of the video, but here's kind of a recap. We've actually made quite a few pieces. I couldn't find the other back to this, so I haven't put her together. Oh, I remember the one other thing I wanted to show you very quick. So a lot of the so I've gotten a couple of complaints actually about my leaving some of the stickers, or the not stickers, the sentiments, these things here, blank. And I just want to tell you that they're actually my favorite thing to leave blank. And let me just show you why. So this is the best way for you to personalize if you're doing some kind of a journal that's a specific, you know. So what I'm just going to do right now is this is for a journal in 1821. So I'm just going to say something like, this is one of the locations in my story. So I'm just going to put the location, and then, which is handwritten, and a date, May 7th, make it May 8th. 1821. And then what that has just done is it's allowed me as the journal maker to take advantage of some of the blank labels. That's the same with a few of the other spots where, like, if you want to put something that's specific, it looks really cute, in my opinion, or not cute, but I like the way it looks when you personalize it that way. So like I might put that up at the top. That was the other thing I had prepared to show you. I think I've got through everything, and if I haven't, you know what? That's just how it's meant to be. It just adds it to me, to making it look a little bit more like it was a field card. See, I did that here too. These are the last couple ones we made. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you in the next video.